It's Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So this is a car chronicle, and then of course my phone wants to shake, which sucks. So this video is going to be all about relaxed hair versus natural hair, um, and the pros and the cons. Which there's a couple. I mean, I'm not. Let me just put a disclaimer out firsthand. Let me do this first. Let me fix the camera up. Hold on 1 second. I am going to fix you guys up because I know this video is going to step on a lot of corns. It's going to be a lot of feedback from those who. And I totally don't like how she's talking about natural hair and all the other things that people be doing. So, hey, Kat. I'm trying to keep my phone from shaking. I'm going to try. Okay, we're just going to work with that. So, I'm on my way back. I had a class today, so I actually am about 2 hours away from home now. I was 3 hours away, which that's part of the life of being a national or international educator. So relaxed hair, natural hair. Why do people do it? I don't know. I fully am relaxed, okay? I am not against natural hair. I am not against relaxed hair. When clients come to me, they are in a judge-free zone. There are a lot of stylists out there that like to do this thing where they're like, "Oh, I don't do natural hair. Oh, why you want natural? Why you wrong with Then you have those other people who like to use peer pressure and say to you things like such. Oh, you shouldn't get relaxers because relaxers get into the brain. Okay, or oh, you need to embrace your natural hair because that's what God gave us. Okay. And then on the natural side, I'm going to go on to the natural side. Relaxed people say natural hair takes no options, that kind of thing. So there's always going to be a pro and a con to everything that everyone doesn't agree with. Because, like right now, the hair industry bashes having relaxers. Why? I don't know. Because relaxers have been around for quite some time. But people have made it so easy for other people to bash, the decision that they made. Hey, Octavia. So, like I was saying, I'm not against either one, but I did want to talk about the pros and the cons of being on either side. So I'm going to start with relaxed hair, and then I'll make my way into natural hair. Okay. So what are some pros of having relaxed hair? Number one, that is the ultimate form of humidity control. Okay. I live in Orlando, Florida, where our humidity is out of control all the time. There is no way to control the humidity, right? So a relaxer allows you to have the ultimate form of humidity control if the relaxer is done right. Another pro of having a relaxer is it is a lot easier to manage versus natural hair. Well, natural hair in certain textures or types is not that easy to manage because most times people don't know what to do with it. Relaxed hair, you are able to manipulate it and do any style you want, whether it be you want to twist out, whether it be you want a rod set, whether it be you want to wear it straight, whether it be you want to wear it curly. You have the ability to make your hair do whatever it is that you want it to do. That's another pro of having relaxed hair. Relaxed hair allows you to have short, trendy cuts like mine that actually last. That actually lasts. Someone said, I'm relaxed. Cool for you. Cool for you. I'm natural and extremely dry. Okay, that happens too. That comes along with natural, but we'll talk about the pros and cons of natural and just hair. Typically doesn't have a huge problem with porosity. Why? Because you are already typically on the highly porous side. Why? Because it is a chemical surface that has penetrated the cuticle. It has opened the cuticle up, and the cuticle itself is able to soak in whatever. So relaxed hair typically has a high porosity. It typically is easier to moisturize. It typically, if taken care of, let me say this the right way, if taken care of, does a lot better with the porosity and hair products than natural hair does. Okay? Natural hair, a lot of natural people are typically on the low porosity side. It's very rare that you get a person who has natural 4C or 4 or 3 or sometimes 2 level hair, and their hair is actually high porosity. That's not very common. Low porosity is extremely common in natural hair. So what are some cons of having relaxed hair? Because there's cons. Number one, relaxed hair is sometimes fragile. You heard me say the word sometimes. Sometimes it can be extremely fragile, depending on how often you relax your hair, who relaxes your hair. Are you trimming it? Are you taking care of it? Are you doing your due diligence to make sure that your hair is in the right shape all the time? I saw something someone said. Hi, Crystal. Hope you had a great weekend. Thank you. Yes, I did. I did. Now, another con with relaxed hair is you are not able to do as many protective, let me say this right. You're not able to do as many protective but not protective styles. You guys know that protective styles are not protective styles. They're protective, but they're not protected in real life. Okay, that's the real truth to it. So relaxed hair, you're a little more you're more susceptible to damage than most natural clients, and I'm going to tell you why. Relaxed hair is not a hair type that typically wants to be covered up months and months at a time. You end up shedding profusely. The hair gets dehydrated because it's already highly porous from the beginning. Whereas natural hair, it's a little bit stronger because you did not break it down using a chemical like a relaxer. A relaxer can also be a form of hair removal. This is why you have to time relaxers when you do them. Because if you leave them long enough, you can go bald. Relaxer is almost like Nair if it's long enough, right? Okay. Another con with relaxed hair is your hairline is typically a lot more fragile than those who are natural. Now, some of this stuff does not apply, and each case is going to be different, guys. I don't want you to take this as, oh, okay, well, I guess I need to go natural then because my hair's not going to be strong. No, I'm not saying that. It's a case by case basis. I am natural. I'm natural. I am relaxed, but I have fine textured hair. My hair is fragile no matter what because it's fine textured. No matter if I'm natural or I'm relaxed. With me being relaxed, it's even more susceptible to damage because I have fine textured hair that is relaxed, and I have a short cut, so I relax more often. Okay, no, I thought I missed something on my life. Okay. Let's talk about some natural hair pros because I know all of my natural hair queens sitting on here. Oh, I don't care. She's talking about natural. She's talking about natural hair like it's just a demon. It's this. No, not I want to do it. So natural hair pros. Natural hair gives you the ability to embrace what God has given you. Okay, natural hair is exactly what we all have a form of natural hair until we actually do something to it. Just so everybody's aware of that. So relaxed clients, why do you think you get a retouch relaxer? Because that new growth is natural hair. So we all have a form of natural hair. How much we have is dependent on you and your choices that you make for yourself. So another pro of natural hair is typically stronger than relaxed hair. But what makes natural hair relaxed hair? There's two things. Number one, how you take care of it, type that you have. Coarse textured natural hair is almost the strongest form of hair that you can get. Why? Because the diameter of that actual strand, the strand of the hair, is thick. It's almost like wire. But you can have damaged coarse textured hair too. Okay? You can have damaged coarse textured hair too. Even though it can be one of the strongest forms of hair, the one that is least susceptible to damage, the one that typically holds on a lot longer, and it's typically the tighter coiled, that does not mean that you are that you basically cannot have damaged hair, that you can't get heat damage, that you can't get that you can't neglect your hair, that kind of thing. I'm natural. My hair sucks up oil, but still feels greasy. What does that mean? And I also have fragile edges. Unfortunately, for this particular live, I'm not going to be doing the Q&A because I have to say I like to do Q&A separately. This is more of an informational video, so catch me on the live when you see me say it's a Q&A, and I'll definitely answer any of those questions. Cool? Thank you. But as I was saying, another pro of having natural hair is you are able to do more protective but not so protective styles with moderation. So does that mean that you can go ahead and do pinch flats every other month on your hairline? No, it's still as fragile as anyone else. It might not be as fragile as my relaxed hair, but that hair is going to still be as fragile as anywhere else because that is the most fragile part of the head. Okay? Your temple, your hairline, all the way around, and your crown are the most tender or sensitive places on the entire head. If you have fine hair, to me, it's better to go natural and embrace your natural curl. There are so many styles. You can have short side curls on the top. It's great. Shanice, wow, that sounds good. And I appreciate your input. Thank you so much. I have fine textured, naturally curly hair. And me being me being who I am, me being the person that wants to embrace my style, I don't agree with that. Because guess what? Every person is going to be different. While you might like that and while you might feel that way, a person like myself who does have naturally curly, even with relaxed, naturally curly, fine textured hair, doesn't always want to be curly. Everyone's style is going to be different. And this is not to rebut you or anything of the sort. This is more like a agree to disagree kind of thing. I don't want to be naturally curly, so why should I be? Because the masses say that it's common, because the masses say that we should embrace our beautiful curls, because the masses say that natural is in. And the only reason why a lot of people are natural, and no disrespect to everybody on here that might have been natural for another reason, a lot of people are natural out of pure peer pressure and what the masses are saying and what media is pushing and what superstars are doing. And then as soon as a superstar goes and cuts her hair off that you might like or that he might like or that she might like, you're looking at it like, well, damn, I want that too. A lot of times it's more peer pressure than really legitimate reasons. A lot of my clients that sit in my chair, I ask them, why did they go natural? Oh, because my sister said it was the right way to go. Or because I follow this lady and I just love how her natural hair looks. Right. You can change it up from curly to straight. You can change it up from curly to straight, but how long is it going to last? I can silk press you all day long. How long is that silk press going to last in the humidity that we have here? How long is that silk press going to last on your vacation to Jamaica? How long is that silk press going to last if you just go near the beach water and stay about 5 miles out? So, like I was saying, at the end of the day, it's my choice. Everyone has their own choice. Me personally, I do not follow the masses. I had a shortcut for quite some time. I've also had long hair as well. While I love having that naturally curly looking hair and it's cool, that doesn't define my style. It doesn't tell who I am. It doesn't tell what I like edginess. And that does not embrace my edginess for me. So that leads me to tell everybody, just like I said before, peer pressure is an MFer. Peer pressure is a MFer. And a lot of people deal with things differently because of peer pressure. Not saying anyone on here does that, but it's very true. What are some other pros of having natural hair? Well, I said I gave a couple pros. Let's do some cons. What are some cons of having natural hair? Number one, it does not hold a style for very long because guess what? Natural hair wants to do just what it's supposed to do. Go back to its natural curl pattern and stay that way. Unless you do what? Burn it to make it stay straight, or you train it to make it stay straight longer. Most times, natural people, whatever curl pattern you have, whether it be 4A, 4B, 4C, 3A, 3B, 3C, whichever one you have, typically you either want to be able to do a wash and go, and sometimes you cannot. So you do what? You go and get a texturizer and still tell people that you're natural. You're not. The moment you tell me you have a texturizer, you are no longer natural. Now you are damn near relaxed. You just kept the texture in your hair. So that is a con of natural hair. Okay? Natural hair does not allow you to have a lot of flexibility. When I say a lot of flexibility, yes, you can go straight, but how straight are you going to stay? How long are you going to stay straight? What if you have a wedding on Friday and you get your hair straightened on Wednesday? Are you going to be straight enough by Friday? Or is your biggest concern going to be, oh my gosh, I got to keep my hair wrapped up because I hope that the humidity don't come. And when I get in the shower, I need to put on 8 layers of tie to make sure that no moisture gets to my hair. Unfortunately, that's the con of having natural hair. And anybody who's joining my live right now, keep in mind, I'm giving pros and cons. I'm not bashing on either side, whether the client sits in my chair with natural or relaxed hair. I don't care on either direction. I embrace either side. I'm all for natural and I'm all for relaxed because there's pros and cons to everything. There's good and bad for everything that we do. Even the Bible can be used for good or bad. So what makes hair any different? People want to like drive really crazy. Anyhow, let's see what comments I have here. Let's see. I love your honesty. Thank you, Mystic. Angie, I agree. I used to get perms, but for other reasons, like you said, I chose to go natural, which is absolutely your choice, and I am not against it whatsoever. I've been natural for 6 months, but it's not for me. Managing it is so hard, so I decided to go back to relaxers just because it's easier for me to manage. Tasha, I'm going to use you as an example. Okay? You're on the highway with all your windows down. Anyway, I'm going to use you as an example, Tasha. Tasha just spoke her truth, okay? And this is where people also go very wrong. If something is not for you and something is not something that you can manage, then you have to do what's right for you. And a lot of times people get relaxers and they can't manage that. So I'm not sitting here saying you should be relaxed. People go natural and they don't even comb their hair in the first place when they had a relaxer. So what makes you think that going natural is going to help you? These are conversations that I have in my chair at the salon because I always ask. So what made you so you want to transition? Why do you want to transition? And then I'll get some reasons like, for health reasons. I've had answers like, I'm going natural because I noticed that my hair isn't as strong as it was when I was younger. I'm going to address that in just a second. Or I'm going natural because I just feel like I just want to embrace my natural curls. Okay. Or I'm going natural and I saw this picture and I wanted my hair to look just like this. That answer right there, I'm going to address that one too because that answer actually kills the hell out of me. Okay. I'm going to tell you why shortly. Then on the opposite side, I get the answers from the clients who are natural and they want to go to relaxer. Why are you going to a relaxer? Well, I've been trying to be natural. I went natural. I've been natural for like 4 months and I can't handle it. I can't handle this. I already don't know how to do hair. And it's like I went natural and now I have no style. That gave you 2 reasons that I've heard so far. Another reason that I've heard is, well, I went natural because my sister and my aunt and all of us decided to go natural. And then one day they come home and they got a relaxer. And I'm the only one with the natural hair. Right, because peer pressure is an MFer. Peer pressure will lead you to do things just like that. And then the same people who pressured you and not even knowing that they pressured you, the same people that pressured you go and make a split-second decision and they leave you out. But they didn't leave you out when they bashed you for making the decision that you made the first time. So I'm going to roll back to the people who come and they also say, hey, I'm going natural, and they show me a picture of a young lady who has a very a defined curl pattern. Her hair texture is fine textured. It doesn't have anything to do with race because even me being an African American, I have the hair texture that most people would want, those defined curls. Will I embrace it? No, I will not. But they'll come to me and they'll show me a picture. No disrespect. They'll show me a picture of maybe a Spanish person. And their curl pattern and their haircut is so edgy, so pretty. And then I see their curl pattern, and their curl pattern is like a 4C. And I can see it from the new growth. And they're saying, okay, so how long is it going to take for me to get to this? That's not how it works, baby. That's not how it works. Whatever curl pattern God gave you, that's the curl pattern you have. Can you manipulate it to make it something different? Yes, but then you're no longer natural. Now I'm texturizing you with a relaxer, and I'm making you textured, but you have a relaxer. It's just a mild form of relax. Okay? Then I get the other hand where I get the people who are saying on the relaxed side, because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm being unbiased. On the relaxed side, I've been getting headaches, and it's like I can't pinpoint them, and I just kind of feel like it's the chemicals doing it. So let me drop. I'm gonna drop some bombs. I'm gonna drop some big ass bombs on people's toes right now. Okay. A lot of times when people come with that, I get the headaches. And while I'm not saying that this is not true. This does happen to people. So don't get me wrong. Sometimes those headaches do contribute to things of that sort. People come and they say, I've been getting headaches or whatever, and I read or I heard on a podcast from some natural person, or I heard from some news story that they put on Channel 13 this morning called on Healthwise, that relaxers are contributing to people having certain things. Hold on, let me let this thing talk. So I'm here to drop a bomb for you, and thank you, Kat, because we're gonna put another boom in there, right? The boom is if something is thriving in media, if something is going very well, if there's a business that they want to push more, they are going to bash the competition. Bashing the competition would mean put out a health study that says relaxers are 10 times more able to kill you than being natural. And then the whole segment of this area over here, who's the health fiends and the oh my god, and I'm gonna freak out, decides I gotta go natural because they said that relaxers are gonna kill us. The cotton that you wear on your back could also kill you, just so people know that. Okay, if you follow what the media puts out, it's very true. Okay, riding in your car and blowing the AC can give you cancer. I've heard that too. Do I follow that? Am I going to ride with my windows down? I'm not. I am not. So keep that in your head when you make decisions about your lifestyle changes and whatever other changes you decide to make. And then, of course, I get in traffic. So true. And what they say changes all the time. If you guys remember this conversation or this topic that they had at one point in life, there was a topic that said or a quote that said an aspirin a day keeps the heart doctor away. And I know, so if somebody remembers hearing this, tell me you remember hearing this. An aspirin a day keeps the heart doctor away. Has anyone ever heard this? If you've heard this, type yes in the chat. Have you ever heard that saying? An aspirin a day keeps the heart doctor away. Have you ever heard this term? I'm going to wait to see if I see yeses and nos. Nita, yes. Veronica, yes. Who else has heard this about aspirin? Some of you might be taking an aspirin a day right now. If you have anything to do with the heart. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So you've heard that term or that slogan or that speech. This was made by the company Bayer, Bayer. Why? Because they wanted to sell aspirin to people who have heart conditions that is going to help you thin your blood. But just the other day on the news, they now put out a new health study that says an aspirin a day will actually put you in a heart doctor. But when the world heard this mass media slogan from the pump company that wanted you to buy their product, they said it clear, an aspirin a day keeps the heart doctor away. But a new study comes out later on because they don't want to push aspirin anymore. They want to push something else, and Bayer is no longer a big brand. All of a sudden, it turned into so don't take an aspirin a day because aspirin will actually induce heart problems. Do you understand why I say don't always listen to the masses? The masses change based on the market and based on who's paying the piper. That's how it works. If they want you to buy a bunch of natural products, they're going to bash relaxer. If they want you to buy a bunch of relaxed hair products, they're going to bash the natural. Media always tells consumers what to think. There's power in music, there's power in TV, and there's power in social media, and what you hear with your ears is with your eyes. There's power in all of this. So you guys keep that in your minds when you're making your life changes, and don't let peer pressure be one of them. I use that example because it's exactly the way it was. You're telling me that being natural is the healthiest way to go. You're telling me that being natural is the best way to embrace my black. The hell? I'm still black, regardless if I got natural hair or relaxed hair. I'm still black. But black too. I'm not brown, but black. It not change. It never change. So who's gonna tell me that being natural is the way to embrace myself? Embrace what, sweetheart? My confidence ain't low. I can embrace the hell out of myself with a relaxer. I can embrace it with natural hair too. Anyhow, I know you guys are laughing like this girl is crazy. I am. I'm passionate. It's not crazy. I'm passionate, and I know what I'm saying. And I know a lot of you who would want to say this are scared to say it. I ain't scared to say it. I know I'm gonna step on a lot of toes. I might even lose a couple subscribers. Oh damn well. I'm here to tell you the truth, and that's just how it goes. Cat, that's exactly why I didn't start taking aspirin when my doctor recommended it for me. I had nothing that said I needed to begin an aspirin regimen. Understandable. I'm not gonna make it about aspirin though, guys, because then all kind of people start coming out the woodwork. So leave that where it's at. I have more damage to my hair from wearing braids than I ever had from relaxing my hair. And that is also a con of having natural hair. Because when you have natural hair, there's not much that you can do to it on a daily basis. You're not forced to take care of it on a daily basis. Why? Because most people will go natural because they want to be able to do a wash and go. But guess what? What if God blessed you with the hair that was not wash and go friendly? It's not easy to have wash and go hair. So what if God did not bless you with wash and go hair, and He blessed you with the nappiest form of nappy? We're talking -4 XJKY222 hair. What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with it? And then guess what? Here's the kicker. Here's where I'm gonna step on some more toes. I'm about to hurt some more feelings. If you're a woman and you have a man, okay, you have a mate. You have a mate. Whether it be your husband, your boyfriend, your whoever, your side whatever, your whomever, and you go natural. And now he starts looking. At first, he's like all happy-go-lucky that you're embracing your hair, and he loves natural hair. He loves that I love that my woman takes care. Like I love that you're so natural. And then all of a sudden, you notice that he's watching everybody that's not natural and not watching you either. Then all of a sudden, he starts coming to you with pictures saying you should do your hair like this, and it's a relaxer. But you went natural to embrace his thoughts of you. You went natural because you thought that he would like it. And he liked it for the first year. Then he started asking you if you're going to get your hair done. Then he started asking you if you're going to get pretty for him. So I'm not pretty with that hair? Uh-huh. Naomi, I know I hurt some feelings. I watch my viewers are going to drop. Because I know I'm hurting a whole bunch of feelings right now. That's just what it is. I get it. Didn't I say it? Someone jumps on. Oh, there go another one. Oh, well, I know I stepped on some corns and bunions. You're saying something now. I am. I have 5 different hair textures in my hair. Styling my hair has not been easy. And it's not. One thing I can tell you, a pro about having a relaxer, best believe all your textures, if the relaxer's done right, say right. If the relaxer's done right, all your textures are going to be the same. All your textures are going to be the same, right? Whereas natural hair, it depends on what you're doing to that section that would determine your porosity and it will determine your texture. If you do more to the front, your front is going to be a lot straighter than your back side. So this side is going to be weak and this side is going to be strong. Somebody said something just now. Casey said, mine told me that. Yes, ma'am. I have a man at home. I'm going to use myself as an example, okay? Because you got to talk about yourself before you talk about somebody else. So before I got a shortcut, I used to always wear weaves or I would wear my hair long, right? Before I got a shortcut, I would always wear weaves or I would wear my hair and I would let it was out. It was grown out. It was long. I had, not long, but I had a bob, right? I had a bob. So when I saw my mate, I showed him. And I was like, don't you like this style? This style gonna look real good on me. I think I'm gonna get my hair cut. And I'm a hairstylist, so you change your style all the time. His response to me was, nah, I don't think you should go short. I don't think you should go short. And then he gave me the reasons why he don't think I should go short. One of them was actually insulting, but it was fine. And it was insulting in a funny way, not in a bad way, not in a demean me kind of way. It was just funny because that was one of my own insecurities. I'll tell you. He was like, you shouldn't go natural because your head, you know, you like say you got a big head. And it's gonna make your head even bigger, right? Which that was always one of my insecurities as a child. I had a big forehead to myself in my mind, and I had a huge head to myself in my mind. So that was always my insecurity. I'd always wear a bang because I thought my forehead was huge. Or I'd always have my bangs narrow to my face and stop right at my eyebrow so it would slim my face. As I got older, I didn't give a damn. Anyhow, when he said that, I was like, okay, so he don't want me to get a shortcut. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get the shortcut. One day I was just like, I'm just bored. I'm tired of wearing weaves. I'm tired of my haircut. My hair was already fine textured. Having a fine textured bob isn't fun, by the way. Okay. So I just go ahead and I let them cut my hair. I just go ahead and cut my hair. When I get home, I'm like, babe, you like my hair? He's like, yeah, you know, it's cool. It's cool. You know, when dude says it's cool, that means, all right, why you did that? But I ain't gonna make a big fuss because I don't want you to think that I don't support you in what you doing, right? I roll by, I'm styling. Guys, if you know, I'm always styling with my natural hair, with my short hair. Always, I keep it. That's my edginess. I feel like that's what brought my edginess. That's what made me know me. We're going on a trip, and I'm like, well, you know, I don't want to have to deal with my hair while I'm on the trip. I'm gonna get a bob. So I have one of the stylists in my salon do a quick weave bob for me, but I have my hair left out at the part just so I could cover it really well. When I get home, he's the same person that was like, you know, I don't want you in no short hair. I don't really like short hair. When I get home, he's like, why you put that shit in your head? What's wrong with your short hair? What the motherfucking shit? Didn't you tell me months ago that you hated my hair when it was short? You didn't think I should have short hair? So now I embrace my long hair. I go get this long hair thinking you're going to love this long hair. Here you go. Why you put that in your hair? What's wrong with your short hair? Your short hair is nice. Can you please everyone? You cannot. You cannot please everyone. That leads me back to natural versus relaxed. You cannot please everybody. You got to please yourself. I'm not going natural because I know the pros and cons of my life. I know that I like to change my look every other day, and unfortunately, walking around with a natural afro is not for me. Walking around with a puffy textured style is not for me. I like my hair to be laid, even with shortcut. You'll see me doing this all day because all these little flyaways drive me crazy. So why would I cater myself to be a natural? That's not my thing. Hold on. Me both and my friend is natural. She told me not to comb my hair, just wet and finger it instead in order to get curly afro. Is that right? I have never been not used to, girl, no, that's just nasty. Comb your head. Cut, don't listen. Listen, I get that a lot too. Oh, I only finger detangle. That's nasty. Comb your hair. You're supposed to comb your hair every day. There's not a day that goes by that you're not supposed to comb it. Comb your head. Okay? Don't listen to nobody else. Because when your hair turns into a baldness, baldness means birdness. Okay? In proper English. It's a birdness. You wondering why your hair popping off at the strand? Because you're not even combing it. That's the worst thing you can do is not comb it. And that's not going to help your curl pattern. Your curl pattern is your curl pattern. What you have is what you have. I'm anemic and I'm on iron pills. What do you recommend to strengthen my hair? Who's that? Tip, as I was saying, this is not one of those, I'm not doing a Q&A on this slide. This is to talk about natural and relaxed. It's not really a Q&A. It's more like if you're asking me something based on natural versus relaxed, and it's common to what I'm saying, then I'll definitely answer. It's not to be mean, but I do a lot of Q&A, and I'm not doing that one today. Not today. I'll do it maybe later, but not today. I've been natural for 7 years and married for 20 years. Never had that convo. Well, that's awesome for you, UK, but guess what? Most people do. Most people. Okay. Let's see. I have 14-inch natural hair and want to get a relaxer now. I hear that too. You get bored. Same thing with relaxed hair. You see styles all the time and you get bored too. Doesn't mean being relaxed makes you say, oh, I'll never go I'll never go natural. I love it. No, you're going to be peer pressured too. Just like natural people get peer pressure just the same. I haven't combed my hair since I was 3, and my last haircut was when I was 22. Well, Black Betty, good luck to you, baby. I only have knits for 2 weeks. Okay. Oddness. Well, the Jamaican just jumped out. Because of you, I now know that you have to take care of natural, same as relaxed. Yes. Yes, MF. Thank you so much for touching on that point. So we're going to roll into the natural care versus the relaxed care, because there's 2 different things and you take care of them 2 different ways. And the person that said that your friend said don't comb your hair, that is how you don't take care of your hair. Their hair stays this length. Their shrinkage stays right here, and then every time they touch their hair, it just pulls right off. Because you're not even stimulating the actual strand and allowing that blood flow to circulate around. It requires you to manipulate the hair and the scalp. Thank you, Kat. By the way, I'm from Belize. I've never been to Belize. No, I have not. I would love to visit though. Okay, so for relaxed hair care, relaxed people typically get their trim with a relaxer. I haven't gotten your hair. Okay, Tintin, great for you, baby. I typically recommend that relaxed hair clients get their trim, TRIM, not CUT, trim with every relaxer. Now, I get this question a lot. If I stretch out my relaxers, will that help my hair be more healthy? No, it won't. It can actually do more damage than good. So relaxers are supposed to be done in this fashion. When you get a retouch relaxer, you're only supposed to be touching the natural hair. Relaxers are actually not supposed to overlap. Relaxers are not supposed to overlap. So if you are getting a retouch relaxer, you are supposed to be going a smidge below your line of demarcation between your natural hair, which is your new growth, and your relaxed hair, because the relaxer is going to swell. It's no different from lightener. It is going to swell as the body heat raises. As the body temperature raises, that relaxer moves. You don't see it much, but it's moving. It's going to swell up the strand. So by the time you go to the bowl to rinse it, if you only left a 1/4 of a centimeter of space, then you're in a good place. So relaxed hair still takes a lot of care, because you have to know how to properly relax that hair. And a lot of times people don't properly relax their hair. If you're doing relaxers at home, I guarantee you that you're overlapping, because you can't see the back of your head. How often do you get a retouch relaxer? Some people are 6 weeks, some people are 7 weeks, some people are 8, some people are 9, some people are 10. So anywhere between 6 and 10 weeks, you should definitely be getting your retouch. What happens if you spread your retouches out? You are telling the hair to just do whatever the hell you want it to do. Okay? You're telling the hair to do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Right? A retouch relaxer should not be done on hair past 1 inch. If you have 2 inches of new growth, you have fallen far out of the 6 to 10 week scale, because the hair only grows 1 to 2 centimeters per month. How many centimeters in an inch? Can someone tell me how many centimeters are in an inch? I know I'm asking trivia. I know somebody's going to be like, whoa, how many centimeters are in 1 inch? I'll wait and we'll see somebody comment. How many centimeters are in 1 inch? Did I take everybody back to 5th grade? 4th grade, 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 1st grade? If the hair only grows 1 to 2 centimeters in a month, that means that if you have 2.5-ish, right, Kat? If the hair only grows 1 to 2 centimeters in a month, and that's average, 1 to 2. Crickets. Somebody said crickets. Exactly. If the hair only grows 1 to 2 centimeters in a month, and you're supposed to be getting a retouch relaxer between every 6 and 10 weeks, How is it that you have 2 inches of new growth? How is it that you have 2 inches of new growth? Someone 2.54 centimeters in every inch. So that means that you have grown almost 5 centimeters because you have 2 inches of new growth. That means that you are not keeping up with your retouch relaxer, and that's manufacturer specifications. That's not even us making it up. That's at the manufacturer level. Because some people might only get 1 centimeter of new growth, and you're at 6 weeks. Some people will get 2 centimeters of new growth, and they're at 6 weeks and 2 days. Everyone's hair grows at a different rate. You're lost, Queen Fox. You might have to watch this in the replay, baby. That's probably why you're not understanding what I'm saying. So if you are getting your relaxers on time, and you're getting your trims on time, you are getting your hair treated on time, you can have a healthy head of hair just like anybody else. Natural hair. How often should you trim natural hair? And anybody that's subscribed to my channel and has watched my videos, you should already know this. How often should a natural hair person get a trim? How often should a natural hair person get a trim? And if you've been watching my lives, you know this. 8 to 10. Every quarter, Bobby G. All of you are right. Kat, you're right as well. A trim on natural hair should be done every 8 to 12 weeks. That's every quarter. So between week 8 and between week 12 is when you should be trimming your hair. You are not relaxed, so your hair is not as compromised or as weakened as a relaxed head would be. So you are not going to be as susceptible to splitting as as relaxed hair would. Relaxed hair will split in the instant. That's common. That's very common. Just blow drying the hair can split it. Just flat ironing the hair can split it. So a rule of thumb is you get your hair trimmed 4 times a year, every quarter. 4 times a year, right? There's 12 months in a year. So every 4 months, you can get a trim, or every 3 months, you can get a trim. You can choose whichever one you prefer. You can choose whichever direction you want to go. Every 3 months, every 4 months. That's why I give the basis between 8 and 12 weeks. Natural. How often should you trim it? The same schedule. 8 to 12 weeks. Nothing changes. 8 to 12 weeks. Everybody's going to trim it on a different scale. Relaxed hair should be trimmed every 6 to 10 weeks. Because you should be trimming it with every relaxer. So that means that if you're following your schedule, you should be getting a TRIM and not a CUT. 2 different things. A cut is a cut. A trim is a light dusting of the ends. You are cleaning up split ends that might have come. And if you're trimming your hair on a trim would be about that much hair. Not even when your hair is getting used to what you're doing. If you straighten your natural hair regularly, how often should you trim? Same schedule. The schedule doesn't change based on characteristics of the hair. And if you're trimming your hair in the natural state, that's not a trim. That's a shape up. That's a shape up. That's not a trim. A trim should be done on straight silk hair. So if you get your hair silked twice or 4 times a year, then you should be getting a trim 4 times a year. That's the schedule you should follow. Let's see. Do all beauticians know what's a corrective? No, they don't. And everybody uses a different term. That's like me. I use the term silk press. But I use the term silk press, but the right term is thermal styling. Some people call it a blowout. A blowout to the Dominicans is just that, a blowout. A blowout is also a chemical product too. No different from the person saying, I get perms. Perms and relaxers are 2 different things. A relaxer straightens the hair. A perm can make it wavy or curly. That's why I don't use the word perm. Because if you use it too loosely, people won't understand. So the same thing, corrective cutting in my book is me fixing something that is damaged or broken or gapping or something of that sort. To another stylist, they might call it something else. Let's see. After years of being natural, I got a virgin relaxer on Saturday. I'm so happy rocking a pixie cut again. That is awesome. And everybody might listen. I get people that sit in my chair that's natural and their hair texture is negative 4K XJ22.97 and they want a shortcut like mine. And I always tell them no. I always say no. Because number one, what I'm not going to do is take your money and know at the end of the day that this hairstyle is going to last you 2.7 seconds. By the time you make it to your car, you already reverted. Why would I take your money and do that? I'm not even hard up for money like that. And yes, I need money, but what I'm not going to do is sit here and fall into this circle and lie to you and tell you that that's how it's going to work. No, I'm not doing that. You can straighten your hair with a curly perm. That's where those relaxers came in. There's no such thing as a curly perm. A perm is a perm. A relaxer is a relaxer. A perm is also a form of a jerry curl too. It's a wave nouveau. Anything that uses a rod is a perm. A relaxer does what? It relaxes the cuticle. When you relax, you go straight. You go. So if your curl pattern is like this, a relaxer is going to make it like this. Why it's called a relaxer. Whereas a perm is actually came from the terminology of the rod. It's called a perm rod. I love you for your realness. Thank you. That was me. 18 different textures. A thermal press just didn't work with a shortcut. No, ma'am, it doesn't. And there's a lot of stylists out there that would love to sell you, hey, let me give you a shortcut with your natural hair. Yeah, I can do it. And guess what they're gonna charge you for? $100 or more. That's money in their pocket because they're lying to you. And then you're gonna come back every single week because you know that hairstyle's not gonna last. You're gonna have nothing left. You're gonna look like you got a tapered cut, like you got a boy cut. Because they put hard lines in that boy cut. Can you damage your hair naturally by keeping it in a bun every day? Absolutely. The question was, can you damage your hair, your natural hair, by keeping it in a bun every day? Absolutely. Number one, you can induce traction alopecia. Number two, exactly where you put that bun is where you're going to have the least amount of hair because you're telling that area to suffocate and die, especially if you put it in the same spot. People who wear a lot of ponytails, typically their hair breaks at the point of where they always put that ponytail. That's always the shortest part of their head. It's either where you put the ponytail or your hairline. Why? Because that's traction alopecia. You're suffocating the hair follicle in that bun. So yes, that can happen regardless if you're natural or relaxed. If you notice people who wear ponytails a lot, typically their hairline is thinner than a person who wears their hair like me. And I have fine textured hair. My hair texture is already fine, so you can always damn near see my scalp on purpose on a normal day, unless I grow it out longer. So imagine putting it in a ponytail every single day. Old school called that pressing or straightening. Jessica, absolutely. Thermal styling, silk pressing, hot combing, straightening, whatever. I mean, honestly, they used to use curl wax to straighten your hair. You was like greasy one going to school. Your hair was nice and slick, beautifully slick. What is the best way to grow the crown with natural versus relaxed? Leave it alone. On either side. On either side, leave it alone. Don't put too much tension on it. Don't pull it up too much. Don't pull it back too much. Take care of it. If you wear wigs all the time, best believe your hairline is going to be the weakest part of your entire head. And slowly but surely, that hairline is going to recede. And that's facts. Lost trust in salons. I'm natural until I got but a keratin on my hair. My hair is no longer falling out anymore. But my hair is a hot mess. Coming to see you soon. Okay. I want to be clear. If I'm natural and I go to a barber every 6 weeks, I'm not really getting a cut. To get a healthy cut, I must blow out and then cut. Sorry if I missed this before. Salon place. Okay, so to answer your question, if you're going to the barber every 6 weeks to get a cut, that sounds like you have a tapered cut. That is a styled haircut. So you have to do what is required to maintain that styled haircut. Now, if you decide that you want to go straight at any point in time, then I definitely recommend getting a trim at that point, because that will also make sure that the hair is even in the place that it should be, and not based on that actual style that you have. A taper cut is a style. So will I say run and go get you a trim? No. You don't really need a trim until you decide that you just one day you want to start growing it out, or you want to wear it straight. Because getting a trim can also change the dynamic of that styled tapered cut. Hopefully that answers your question. What types of styles do you remember for natural hair? None. I don't, guys, I'm telling you the honest to God truth. When people come to me, they're not coming to me to style their natural hair. They're coming to me to get treatment. They're coming to me to get corrective cuts. They're coming to me to get things that they can't do at home or shouldn't be doing at home. I don't do a lot of natural styling. I'll do a rod set every so often, but that's not my passion. My passion is making sure that that hair is healthy, making sure that that hair has the basic needs. Natural styles, unfortunately, to me, I feel like if you're gonna pay me $60, why pay me $60 to give you a twist out? You can do the twist out at home. You can do that at home, and you still need 2 days to make it really, really dry. That's not that's not a business that I'm in, to take people's money like that. It depends on what is causing the recession. That's right. Is it good to take drugs that make your hair grow? Does it have side effects? Biotin, to be precise. Biotin has everything you put in the body has a side effect. Everything. You put too many vitamins in, the body expels too many. Minoxidil, same thing. Anything you put in the body has an adverse reaction. Hold on, guys. I gotta put my charger on. So if you get a relaxer and you take a while between to get the new growth touched up, is that bad for your hair, and will it break off? Potentially it can break off. Is it bad for the hair? It's not bad for the hair. But remember, you trained your hair to do a certain thing. And if you deprive it of what you trained it and said that you're going to do to it, it's not going to react the way that it should. And honestly, spacing out relaxers isn't going to help. Spacing out relaxers is only going to help you get fullness at your new growth. And then you go relax it and you're back to the same thing. So spacing them out doesn't help. Now, I'm going to tell you the difference. I do not relax the top of my head as often as I do my sides and my back. Why don't I relax the top or the crown of my head as much as my sides and my back? Because I recognize that I have fine textured hair. With fine textured hair, my goal is to make it appear to be fuller than what it really is. So I don't relax up here, because every time I relax my crown, if I do it as much as I do my sides and my back, this area is going to be a lot thinner and it's going to have a lot more damage. It's a lot longer. It's a longer area that I put a lot of heat to. So I don't mess with it as much as I do my sides and my back, which I want to stay the way it is. So those are ways that I manipulate what I have to get what I want. In those cases, that's all I do. Manipulate what I have to get what I want. It's not to say, oh, it makes it healthier. No, it doesn't. It actually is not good. But I know that I do a lot more to a certain part of my head, so I'm going to manipulate what I have to make it work for me. What are styles that can help get away from putting hair in a ponytail? I have trouble doing because I have medium, natural length, curly, fine hair. So in the Q&A, I'll answer questions like those. Thank you for your hair care truths. You're awesome. Thank you. What is it? Hey, Crystal, what do you think about co-washing between regular wash weeks? I don't like co-washing. No disrespect. Now, my clients who work out, because technically our hair texture should not, or hair types, should not be washed every week. It shouldn't be washed every day. We end up losing the natural oils that we already are lacking, right? So when people co-wash, I only suggest that for my people who work out all the time. Why? Because you are working out and your body is releasing toxins. And where do the toxins come out? In your sweat, through your pores, through your glands. You have a lot of glands right up in here. Okay, when your sweat comes out, sweat typically tastes like salt. Salt to the hair is not a good thing. So if I'm natural or relaxed, I can't do as much. I cannot rinse or shampoo my hair as much as I would like to. So what I then recommend for those clients is I recommend for my workout clients that they can co-wash in between their wash day because they need to get the salt out of their hair. That's the only time I recommend co-washing. Do I agree with co-washing? No, I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with co-washing. Co-washing is like washing your clothes in fabric softener and never using soap. That's what co-washing is to me. You're constantly washing your clothes in fabric softener and you never use soap. You never clean your hair. You never clean your clothes. That's like washing your dishes with lotion. That's nasty. I didn't really say it like that, but that's just how I feel. You're washing your dishes with lotion. What part of you have clean? Would you eat from a plate that you wash with lotion? Can someone really answer this for me? Would you eat from a plate that you wash with lotion and you never use soap? Ew. No. And that's what co-washing means to me. You are slathering lotion on a dirty head all the time. And conditioner builds up. So if it's building up, that means that you have not cleaned any of that buildup off. So now you're clogging the pores and you're clogging the cuticle. And then you're saying, okay, I like to co-wash. Hold on, guys. I need to change my address that I'm going to. I think co-washing is for natural hair between the actual shampoo wash day. Nikki, I just gave my reasons why. Everybody's different. I feel the way I feel, but I'm not bashing anyone for co-washing or anything of the sort. I don't agree with it unless absolutely necessary. But does it take the place of shampooing on a regular? It doesn't. No, correct. It doesn't take the place of shampooing. But there's people out there that will not use shampoo whatsoever. None. Hello from the UK. The last time I wore braids, when I took them out, it broke off a little from where the braids connect. What can I do? Grow it out? That's your only defense at this point. Nothing you can do. Grow it out. You have to just leave it alone. So braids, anything of the sort. Braids, if you have braids with longevity, or if you have fine texture hair and you get braids, there's a little dirt ring that builds up around the base of the braid as it grows out. Okay, you have something that is suffocating the follicle. It's holding on to the follicle. So the right thing happens, there's buildup of dirt that goes right into that area that's suffocated. It's not able to go anywhere else, so it's going to go right here. That ring becomes a rock. That ring does not comb out. It combs off, and it takes whatever with it. That is the reason why I don't get braids. Even when I was getting sew-ins, with my hair texture, I lost more than I gained. That's what made me really back off and say I'm going to cut my hair and I'm just going to deal with it this way. Because when I was wearing protective styles and I was doing stuff like sew-ins and braids and stuff like that, my hair texture could not support that. It always hurt. My hair was always limp, and I lost more hair than I gained when I took that out. Now, that's not the same for everybody. That's my reason for never doing it. Well, hair can break off of demarcation because that area is usually weak. Correct. Please don't sell us that cheap flat iron. It's not good for non-relaxed hair. Not all titanium. K6, I don't know what you're talking about, sweetheart. You're on the wrong live. Find you something to do. Is herbal hair and scalp scrub good for the hair? I've never tried it, so I don't know, babe. I don't know. I do not know. Anyhow, so we talked about the pros, we talked about the cons, we talked about how you care for your natural hair, we talked about how you care for relaxed hair, we talked about all of that, right? Products. Let's talk about some products. And I'm not going to get product names. The point is not product names, nor am I going to bash any lines. If you ask me about a product, I'm going to tell you about the product, but I'm not going to bash a line intentionally. What is the best relaxer for someone that wants to go from natural to straight? Monica, that's dependent on the stylist that you go to. I don't talk relaxers. I don't give that out. That's something that I don't take for granted, nor do I put in the hands of any consumer unless you're a stylist and we're talking privately. But let's talk products. This is very informative. Come on late. Hopefully there's a live so you'll be able to watch it after the fact. Products. How do you know what product is good for your hair? I talk about this all the time. For natural people, a porosity test is the only way to know what product is best for your hair, and not what product type is best for your hair. Okay, what product type is best for your hair? So if you have never done a porosity test and you are natural, you definitely need to do one tonight. I have a video on my channel that talks about porosity tests, and I actually did one. It's very simple. You use a glass of water and a strand of hair. You drop it in the glass of water. If it sinks to the bottom, it is high porosity, meaning it's highly porous. Typically, relaxed hair is highly porous. Okay? If it floats on the top, then that is low porosity and it does not absorb moisture. About 75% of natural hair has low porosity, depending on the texture. If it floats in the middle of the water, like it's swaying in the middle of the water, that means that you have normal to medium. That means that you are on either side of the scale and you have to cater to both. Some relaxed people are also on both sides. So they also lack moisture, but they also, once they put the moisture in, it stays. If you ever heard, it's kind of like a yin and a yang, like it's both sides. I use Cantu for my hair. That's great. Just happened to come across your live. Very informative. Loving the information you're sharing. Thank you. What can I use? My hair is changing color because my blood pressure pills. Charlene, join me later on. I'll be doing a live Q&A. This particular video is not a Q&A. Not for me. I want a clean scalp. I have scarring alopecia, so I have to keep my scalp clean. Absolutely, Pamela. Now, if you have low porosity hair, people like to say it's protein sensitive. That's not the word for it. You're not protein sensitive. You just have to moisturize more if you protein your hair. So that doesn't mean that you should not use protein. Protein is the only way to fix situations like shedding and breaking. That is the band-aid on the boo-boo. But once you use protein, you have to definitely hydrate right after. So if I give a protein treatment at the salon, I'm also rehydrating the hair after the protein treatment. Whereas high porosity hair lacks no moisture. It does not want moisture. It actually wants more protein than moisture, because protein is going to allow that hair to fuse, that cuticle to strengthen and close. Whereas the moisture will penetrate and leave that cuticle wide open, and typically high porosity hair frizzes a lot faster. High porosity hair will frizz much faster than anything else. How do you treat dandruff? You have to clean your scalp, natural astringents, that kind of thing. But that's more of a Q&A question. My hair is fine textured and doesn't hold curls long. I don't like using spritz because of the alcohol. What products for holding can use? Naomi, that's a Q&A question. We'll do that in the Q&A session. Love your information. Thank you. Excuse me, guys. Now, outside of porosity, for relaxed hair typically lacks moisture. That's typical. It typically also lacks protein and strength. That's why I said some relaxed people are medium to normal porosity. Sometimes you're right in between the two. My relaxed hair breaks very easily. I tried a lot of things, but it didn't work. What could I do to avoid the breakage? It depends on what you're doing, but that's a Q&A question. So we can do that in the Q&A. Kat, thank you. I have wavy hair and get euthermal done. curly straight and my new growth is 4 inches. Thank you, Kat. Make note for questions and tune into the Q&A. Listen, my moderators, bomb. I have the best moderators ever. Hold on, guys. I think I'm missing my directions. I was missing my directions talking to you guys. What products are good? You want to make sure that you're getting enough moisture, but you also are supposed to be getting protein right after. So when you do a relaxer, okay, if you're relaxed, when you get a relaxer, no more than 2 to 3 weeks after the relaxer, you should be getting what we call a protein treatment. What is the protein treatment going to do? So here's the damning side to being relaxed. When you're relaxed, this is another con. When you're relaxed, relaxer is one of those things where it is breaking the hair down for you to now build it up. And I know that sounds very crazy. So you are breaking the hair down. You're breaking down your curl pattern, okay? Utilizing a chemical that has the ability to break that hair down, that has the ability to straighten that hair. Once you do that, you now have to build it back up. Protein is what we typically use to do that. That helps to re-strengthen the hair that you broke down at a fast rate. So that is when you use protein. For my natural girls, when you have natural hair, when do you get a protein treatment? Either once every quarter, or if you notice that you are shedding profusely. Shedding profusely means if you go like this and you have hands of hair in your head, like you got more than a couple strands in your hand and you can ball them up and hold them. That's shedding profusely. Naturally, you shed 50 to 100 hairs in a day. Naturally, you shed 50 to 100 hairs in a day. What are some good products for forcing natural hair? That's a Q&A question. Do you agree with using aloe vera as a hair care product? I have heard of aloe vera being used in hair care products and it's absolutely amazing. So you probably can. I went to Paul Mitchell Cosmetology School and they had us do the porosity test. Mine floated in the middle. That means that you are normal to medium porosity. That's what that means. Ooh. Now, low porosity hair. Those who say, I'm protein sensitive. No. That doesn't mean you're not supposed to. That just means that you need to rehydrate as much as you possibly can after you do that. I'm going the right way. Okay. After you do that. High porosity hair, same thing. Can too much protein break the hair? It absolutely can. So those of you who have been running to do the rice water stuff, rice water is full on protein. Too much rice water can break the hair. Too much rice water can break the hair. So think about that when you're doing these different natural remedies. Too much protein can dry and break the hair. That's why you're not supposed to do a lot of protein treatments. Listen, Kat, or one of you, this K6 person, thank you. Ain't got time. Get them off of here. I'm not with it. I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to cuss anybody out. I'm trying to be. Oh, so you sitting here ready to take people down. Look at him. He about to take somebody down right now. Don't come behind me though, please. Please don't come give me a ticket, sir. Please. You going around me? Hallelujah. He's going around me. I can't afford no tickets. He's about to take somebody's ass right now. He's ready. So let me go over here so you can't catch me. Bye, K6. Thank you. Doo-doo-doo. Watch him take. Boy, he was sitting under there. I knew it. Woo! I'm crazy, y'all. Crazy. All right. So I hope this live was absolutely informative to each and every one of you. I hope this live gave you so much insight that you now have so much to think about. If you're one that have been peer pressured into going natural, sit back and think about your own decisions. If it works for you, stay with it. If it don't work for you, let that go. Same thing with relaxed hair. If you notice that your hair breaks more, then it's not for you. You are a joy to listen to. Thank you. Ooh. So keep those thoughts to your mind. Okay, so I want to be nice. I want to be nice. I guess I would do a Q&A now. But when I get burnt out, I'm going to stop the Q&A. Because Q&A, I've lost my voice sometimes doing Q&A. And I'm like long-winded. And I lost my voice the last time. And I said I wasn't going to do too much Q&A. So I will do Q&A now. If you have a question, you can ask. Once I get burnt out, I'm going to stop the Q&A. Because I don't want to get burnt out and I'm driving. That's the worst. So if you have any questions, you can now post them and I will try to answer them. Hi, how are you? Can I get a receipt, please? Thank you. All right, let's see. Sorry, that was Q&A question. We'll join you later. The hardest part about having natural hair is having 2 or 3 different textures. Yes, it is, honey. What kind of hairstyle do you recommend for weak edges? Nothing that pulls it back or pulls it down. Nothing that puts tension on that area. Braids, negative. Sew-ins, you can, but you need to leave the hairline out. Right? Because I am new to this live, and since I've been on here, it seems like you have an attitude. Oh, I'm sorry, Nikki, if you feel like I have an attitude. You're welcome to get off, though. What is the difference between a relaxer, whereas a relaxer full-on straightens the hair, whereas a texturizer just breaks the curl pattern down and relaxes the curl pattern slightly. So a texturizer can also be categorized as a mild relaxer. A texturizer can be characterized as a very, very mild relaxer. Or they also call it Texlaxer. With the hairstyle like yours, can you get a relaxer on the side and leave the top natural and get a silk press? Or do you need to relax all of it? No, you actually can, I do it actually to a lot of my clients. So if you ever see the styles where they have that feathered bang, and the side, like the feather bang is really full, typically that hair is not relaxed, it's texturized, because you want to keep the fullness. You don't want, it's no different from when I say I don't relax the top of my head a lot. I want to keep the fullness as much as I possibly can. So what people do is they fully relax the sides and the back because they want that baby to lay, right? And then the top, they texturize the top, or they leave it in its natural state and they soak it out, just like what you asked, so they can keep the fullness, keep the body density. Nikki, she never has an attitude. I never actually have an attitude, but leave it. It always got to be one. I guess because I didn't answer the question she went the way she wanted me to. Oh well, you'll be all right. I have bad dandruff, and sometimes my scalp will smell. Okay, what can I use? I have to wash every other few days for comfort. That is common. I would probably recommend doing some natural cleansings of the scalp, like apple cider vinegar, baking soda, that kind of thing. Apple cider vinegar also, it's an antiseptic, and it also helps to remove smells. I know that sounds weird because apple cider vinegar stinks, but it helps to neutralize smells. So apple cider vinegar and baking soda, or apple cider vinegar and clarifying shampoo, and then you gently lift, not scratch the dandruff, but lift the dandruff. Boy, I don't miss those, girl. Toes will kill me. And Orlando has a lot. Is there a holding spray or product without alcohol available for fine textured hair? Honestly, babe, I do not know. I do not. There's so many products out there. But here's the thing. All the products, a lot of times when they say they don't contain alcohol, they contain a substance that works just like alcohol. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Have an attitude. You are an amazing hairstylist that cares about people's hair. Your professional stance and confidence is what probably scares people. Just be you. So Diamond, let me tell y'all a little story, right? So I get this all the time. I'm very intimidating to people. One thing I've learned in my 33 years of being on this earth, people get intimidated by people who are old. They're in their self, they're more conscious. They're easily embarrassed. They're always in the negative. They always think of the negative. So then they see a person like me, where I'll be damned if I'm going to play dumb, but I'll also tell you when I don't know. And I'm sure of what I'm saying. If I don't know what I'm saying, I'm going to say I don't know. But people get intimidated by stuff like that. And instead of saying, well, man, she knows her stuff, and instead of patting me on my back, I have to have an attitude because I'm above your head. I'm speaking above your level. I left you down here and I'm speaking up here. So unfortunately, I'm not for every damn body. That's probably why I don't have everybody in my chair. I'll dismiss you real quick. Okay? Don't challenge me. That's me. I don't challenge my doctor when he knows his shit. I don't challenge him. I might disagree, but I'm not going to challenge him because I don't have the education that he has. What are the best products for high porosity hair? You probably want to stick to stuff that's not oil based. Don't do oil based products. Stay away from oil based. And if you are using an oil based product, you don't use as much as the average person would use. Wait, watch this toll be like $9. Hi. How much is it? $175. Man, $175?
It's cheap.
So you're gonna pay it for me?
Not today.
Not today? Okay, I'll come back Thursday. Thank you. Don't pay me any attention, guys. I'm just fooling around. Okay, let me go back. I wish I could travel to you so you can style my hair. I'm gonna do a tour at some point, guys. So we're gonna be together. Excellent. Watch for the first time yesterday. Subscribe. Thank you. I just love you. Are very informative. Keep doing you. God bless you. Thank you, Paula. I know that's right. Have several seats. Several. Times 9, baby. Krista doesn't have an attitude. She's just very passionate and straight talking. That has nothing. This is not having an attitude. Guys, I don't have an attitude. Now let me tell you straight now. I can be catty as F. I can be catty as I'm real good at being catty. That's one thing I got from Michelle, boy. I will take your effing head off by being catty. I will demean you in 5.5 seconds and make you know who I am, who not to F with, who your mother is, who your father is, what you shouldn't have been, and why you shouldn't have been born. Please don't play with me. But I do not have an attitude. I like shit my way, but I don't have an attitude. But people don't like when you're straight. I'm very straight. I don't, all that, I'm taking 9 streets to get to the front street here. I don't have time for that. That's stupid. That's why I don't go to female doctors. That's why my doctor's a man. Just tell me what the hell is going on and tell me what the hell we need to do, and let's roll. I don't need your compassion. Just tell me what the fuck is this. That's it. And that's how I speak. But I've been known to not be so politically correct because I don't speak in the way that makes people comfortable. I'm so sorry I don't make you comfortable. I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm here to make you know what you got going on so you can do better. Just like anybody else, when they tell me, I might not like it, but I'm not going to sit here and class them as having an attitude because they're telling me something that just made me uncomfortable. There's a difference. And where the hell am I going? Am I going the right way? I'm sorry, guys. I'm making sure I'm going the right way. Thank you, Kat. Yes, I'm in Altamont Springs. So I'm sorry. The person that asked where I'm located, I'm in Altamont Springs / Orlando, Florida. I finally received the growth and hair repair shampoo and conditioner and absolutely love it. I need to take a screenshot of that one. Yes. Yes. Hold on. I can't take no screenshot if my phone is way down there. Hold on. Who said that? Donald Reagan. Thank you for the review. I lost you. Thanks for all the info. Oh, I love you. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Do your hair return to its natural state after having a care? No. So, Guy, I'm so glad. Who asked me that question? Rebecca, girl. Rebecca, you just asked an amazing question. The question was, does my hair return to its natural state after a keratin? Does my hair return to its natural state after an amino acid straightening system like Basic and Design and Nizani and all these other systems? Does my hair return? It does not. They need to stop selling that shit like that. No, it doesn't. Because you just flat ironed a chemical into the hair. You have now changed the chemical makeup of that strand. While it might diminish, it's still there. It will diminish, but it will not diminish or dissipate in its entirety. It will still be there. And I wish these people would stop telling this. This is why I don't offer straightening treatments. I don't offer straightening treatments. I don't offer smoothing treatments. You want a texturizer? I'm going to give you a texturizer. Okay? You want a silk press? I'm going to give you a silk press. I don't do smoothing treatments anymore. They can't sell me on it no more. Because I've seen what it does to the hair. And every time I've done it, the hair has broken down in a way that I did not like. So true. Totally agree. Will you have a moisture line? I will. I'm working on it. I am working on a moisturizing serum specifically. I won't have the shampoo and conditioner yet because shampoo and conditioner takes a lot of energy. I do with a lot of people. I don't like dealing with people. I'm not really a people person. I'm typically by myself or I'm with my husband or I'm with my kids. We don't really keep too much friend in our class. Friend will lead the Astria. We don't keep friend. Friend will lead you to the wrong place. And a friend can't lead me, so I don't want a friend. Okay, so do we have any more Q&A questions? Why does watch this toll be another $80? Lord, I think I'm running out of money. They need to stop selling that mess. They do. That Ite, if you buy Ite and you use Ite, I know for a fact that shit don't work. Watch this toll be $100. Hi. I just said hi and she's there. I'm about to get her. You see how she taking long? Can I get a receipt, please? I'm not even in the mood to play. I'm not gonna bother. Thank you. You see how I said thank you? Because the catty side of me wanted to say thank you, bitch. It just took 4 hours. I gotta wait for you to put your jacket on. I did a proximity test and my strands flowed a porosity test, okay? And my strands floated down the glass. What does that mean? High porosity. That means that your hair absorbs the moisture. So you probably have a issue with your hair being a lot oilier than most. I'm relaxed and I have low porosity, but every time I wash my hair, it becomes tangled and very coarse. That's very common. That is extremely common, especially if you have coarse textured hair. Low porosity hair lacks moisture, so it tangles more because it's always dry. Long story short, I went. May I go the right way? Hi. Okay. Wait. Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. Long story short, I went from Design Essential to Mazzani. Should I go back to Design and Central or Mazzani once my hair grows out? Please advise. It depends on you and your stylist, babe. I can't advise you on that. I don't use either or. And then we got a fourth car. Do you know that in toll alone, we used about $7,000 a year in just toll? And that was based on one car. So you do the math. I bought a car in a year from paying toll. Okay, there we go. Sorry, my phone was buffering, guys. Hi, Crystal. I'm natural, fine textured, and low porosity. So, you have any recommendations for protective styles? Natural, fine textured, and low porosity. I mean, if you do a protective style, you just wouldn't leave it in for anything longer than 2 weeks. And that's, in all honesty, it's going to do more damage than good. If you leave it longer than that, you're going to end up losing a lot more. Is coconut oil more moisture or protein? Coconut oil is a moisture-based oil. It's good for moisture. The truth hurts. Messy people. Keep telling it like it is. God sent you just what we need. The truth. See you soon. Thanks, Rebecca. My question was wrong. Is it good to keep switching perms? That's what I want to know. No, it's not. It's not good to keep switching, but you're going to have to keep switching until you find the right one for you. If your stylist knows a lot about relaxers, then they'll know what relaxer is best based on what's going on with your hair. Like me, I use FiberGuard. I prefer FiberGuard over the regular Avalon relaxer. It's a lot milder and it hydrates the hair more. Whereas relaxer doesn't really hydrate as much, but it will hydrate more than the typical normal strength relaxer. And it's better for those who have compromised hair. So I know which relaxers to use and when. I have a different relaxer that I use for shortcuts than I do for longer hair. Is there anything that can help cause my wash day? That can help because my wash day is a nightmare. So why is your wash day a nightmare? Tell me why it's a nightmare and then I'll help you. Hi there. How can I change from short natural to short and straightened? Love you. Get a relaxer. I know I just hurt your feelings. Get a relaxer. It's the only way you're gonna get able to do that. That's the only thing that's gonna last. Or you can get a texturizer. But texturizers are another one. If you get a texturizer now and then your stylist going to texturize you again, you're now relaxed. You're not texturized no more. That's why I tell people once you get a texturizer, you're now chemically enhanced. You might not be straight like a relaxer, but you're chemically enhanced. Please forgive me if it sounds dumb, but I ordered the Extra Strength Goddess Hair Serum. I'm relaxed. Will this show up in my blood work? I go to the doctor often due to illnesses. No, it's topical only. So I used to, my original regular strength serum, I used in Florida, you can only use 0.03% of CBD in any product. You can only go up to 0.03%, not even 0.3%, 0.03. That's like this much. That's not even much. So in my products, I used to use the actual serum that had the 0.03% of THC in it. I no longer use a THC based formula because guess what? It's not required. The THC only gives a high. What the hell kind of high do I need to give you to grow your hair? So the non-THC is a lot more expensive, but it carries more benefit and it's drug free. There's no THC in it. So on top of that, while the skin does absorb the oil, it's not even if it had THC in it, it's not enough THC for it to ever show up. It's not enough. Now, if you put stuff under your tongue, that's going into your bloodstream. You are putting it on a topical basis. It's not penetrating to that extent. Not to that extent. If that's the case, then everybody who's saying that they lack oil, you'd be an oil slick. I wish you were in New York. I was in New York on June 7th. I did a pop-up and I only had one client. That's crazy. I was surprised, but I said I would try in another city. I'm kind of not going to do another pop-up in New York right now. I feel like I've outdone New York. Hey, Crystal, I'm having dandruff issues and I've tried some different products, but I still can get dandruff. Some days worse than others. What is good to use? So dandruff is a very complicated problem to work with. Dandruff can't be cured. It can be controlled, but it cannot be cured. It's not a curable thing. It's something that will lie dormant and then come back, right? So the easiest way to clean the scalp is the more you clean the scalp with the less invasive products, the easier and the more you can control it. So what I always suggest is natural ways of cleaning the scalp. Astringents like apple cider vinegar. It is also very drying, so you need to rehydrate when you're done. Don't say that. I will come. You will come one day. uh, Anyhow, what I was saying is it will lie dormant. So if you use stuff like apple cider vinegar, try to stay away from things like tea tree. Tea tree, while it makes the scalp feel good and it's lifting that dandruff, it is also drying the scalp out for the body to now make more dandruff. So dandruff comes from an overproduction of sebum, right? So if it comes from overproduction of sebum, sebum means oil. It's more oil and it's overproductive, overactive. So what ends up happening is the body now makes this layer to trap in and stop all that sebum from coming out. It's actually putting something there to try to buffer it, which is what we call dandruff. It also is a buildup from that sebum too. So it's a numerous amount of things. So if you use tea tree while it's helping to get that stuff out, and zinc-based shampoos is helping to clear that away, it's also excessively drying to the scalp. So now the scalp says, I need to make more. I need to make more oil. I didn't give you enough, so let me make some more. And now the dandruff becomes even worse. Dandruff becomes even worse. The tangles and the coarseness that I'm relaxed on my hair. Here comes the traffic. Hold that thought, guys. After these questions, I'm gonna kind of have to cut off the Q&A because now I really have to like pay attention. I'm in traffic, which I'm paying attention, but I need to be at the same shit that I just said. People don't know how to drive. So with dandruff, like I was saying, apple cider vinegar. You can drop a little bit of eucalyptus oil, eucalyptus essential oil. Damn it, I couldn't say the freaking word. In the actual mixture, and use a little bit of baby shampoo. That's also really good to clean the scalp. When you the scalp, you can also damage the follicle from excessive scratching and make that dandruff area extremely sore. That's why you lick it and not scratch it. I have some heat damage. Can I grow my hair out more and then get my ends clipped? You can. It's no different from transitioning. You can do that. Do you pop up in DC or Maryland? I have not done a pop up anywhere other than New York, which my goal is to do a pop up somewhere else. Hey there, how do you know when to use protein? Should I moisture and mix protein at the same time? No, when you need to do protein, that means the hair is shedding, or it's really breaking. That's the best time to do a protein treatment. Why does my hair get oily for over a few hours? How can I stop my hair looking nasty? Even dry shampoo, not even dry shampoo. That means that you just an overproducer of oil. You got a hard combination, baby. And then on top of that, it sounds like you might be actually adding more oil. I wouldn't add anything else to your hair. You're gonna have to kind of deal with what you have. That's just like somebody who has a lot of oil in the T-zone. You can't really stop it. You can moisturize more, but that's not gonna help either. It's just gonna help you to create more oil. Unfortunately, you're just overactive with your oil. I'm sorry, I can't really fix that problem. Some doctors will give you, they'll tell you, oh, let's take these steroids or whatever, and then that'll help to reduce the amount of oil you make. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Sorry, guys, it's raining, so we're gonna stop Q&A for a moment. I'll talk a little bit about those of you who might have the dandruff issue. Can you hear me? Tell me if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, then I'm going to cut the live off because it's raining really, really bad. Natasha, I might have missed your question, babe, but I'll have to do it another time. But I can't see. Watch this toll now. Okay. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Since I started using tea tree oil, I have more damage and breakage. Correct, because tea tree dries the hair out. How often to wash when you have dandruff? How as often as your hair needs it, but don't get a lot of dandruff shampoo. Just use a moisturizing shampoo and wash. Thank you. This man damn near threw my money at me because it's raining. What the fuck is going on? Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to actually end the live now because I can barely see. So thanks, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will do another Q&A later on, only because I cannot see and I am not gonna put myself into any problems while I'm driving. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later.